Hey everybody, what is going on? Welcome to another episode of the Washington Redskins Franchise here on Madden 20. This is a little bit different of an episode. We are going to be bringing in three special guest scouts to go over 10 prospects apiece with you guys that will be in this year's draft class. Again, these are all computer-generated players, except the Patreon supporters of the channel that I went ahead and created players for and put in this draft class. So I didn't make any of them super great as far as overall, just to let you guys know. And I really didn't look at anyone else's overall while I was doing it. So a lot of these players might look great and not be great. I don't know. We know how this year's Madden draft classes have been. But I sent my scouts out there. They're going to let you know what is going on. First up, we're going to go to the East, and our guest, Kaz Cray. Of course, right after that, solid Redskin intro.
Never back down, we will not relent, now and never till the day that we dreamed of. The day that we dreamed of.
Why, hello there, beautiful people. It's your boy, Kaz the Blackheart, aka Kaz Cray, of Grady Night Gaming. And what a surprising season our Redskins had this year. Really disappointed to end the season down in the Bayou the way that it went down, but I think I've scouted a few guys that could make sure that the same thing doesn't happen next year. So let's check them out, shall we? So first we go to the state of Ohio, to the Akron Zips, where we see tight end Jonathan Watts. Now he's a 6'9", 275-pound tight end, and he's going to be 23 years old come draft day. There's really nothing that John can't catch, and he led the Zips in receiving because of it. Now granted, Akron doesn't really have a plethora of talent on the team, and they only went 4-8 this year, but Watts was a huge part of all 4 wins, amassing over 450 yards and 6 touchdowns in those 4 games. He did finish the season with over 1,000 yards and 11 TDs. Now, he's not the best blocker in the world, so you're not going to get a ton out of him when it comes to blocking, but he's definitely a threat and a weapon in the passing game, and you can definitely count on him in the red zone. And if we can get him in the 6th or 7th round, he's definitely going to be a steal, so look out for him. Now we make our way down to the state of Kentucky for our next 2 draft prospects. First, with the Kentucky Wildcats, we have wide receiver Ryan Hunter. He's 6'1", 176 pounds, and he's more of a slot receiver than anything else. He doesn't really drop anything, and he rarely misses a ball thrown his way. He's a very reliable target to have on the team, and with that late first-round grade, the Redskins could definitely play their way into getting him if they choose to do so. Now, the other player in the state is a Louisville Cardinal, and that's going to be center Stuart Green. He's 6'4", 310 pounds, and he's a hell of a run blocker. He also has great lead blocking skills and could be a great addition to the team in the middle of the 3rd round. Either one of these guys from the Bluegrass State could definitely help out our team in the nation's capital. Now we head to one of the many Death Valleys in the world, over to Clemson, where we take a look at left guard Kirkland Warner. He stands at 6'5" and weighs 322 pounds. He'll be 23 on draft day, just like Jonathan Watts, and he's one of the more elite run blockers in this class. He is projected as a 4th rounder, but I do think the Redskins should maybe think to get him in the 3rd round. He could be a steal there. Now, we'll stay in the state of South Carolina and head over to Gamecock country, where we look at left tackle Steve Tepper, who's 6'7", 334 pounds. He is a massive human being. He's more of a power blocking lineman who can possibly make an impact on an offensive line on day 1. Now, he did get injured this year, which pretty much took away half of his season, and it has taken him down on a few draft boards, but now a lot of people are projecting him to be in the 2nd round. I do think Tepper is definitely worth taking a chance on, and we'll just have to see if Coach McCoy feels the same. And now I head to my least favorite stop, good old Gainesville, Florida, where I have to take a look at the dreaded Florida Gators. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, I am a diehard Florida State fan, so coming into Gatorland, it's kind of like walking into the Lion's Den, or I guess in this case, the Gator Swamp. but I'm here to check out not one, but two of their players. We'll start with 6'7", 245-pound Alan Cousin. Now, for a guy who's 6'7", 245, he is definitely very fast. And that's saying a lot because you don't see a lot of 6'7" guys with the ability to move around the way he does. He's built like a tight end, but definitely is a true wide receiver. And that's exactly why he's getting a first-round grade. He's a very good route runner, and he's very similar to Randy Moss in a lot of different ways. And we're also going to look at his teammate Trey Leary, the right end, who also has an early first-round grade. However, he is a little bit undersized. He's 6 foot even and 258 pounds. That's more of a 3-4 linebacker, but even the height is kind of questionable there. But he does specialize as a pass rusher, and he definitely has a better, lower center of gravity, which definitely helps him out a whole lot. And he makes up with his lack of size with incredible finesse and great hit power and very fundamental tackling. You're not going to see too many face masks on this guy. And honestly, as a Florida State fan, I highly recommend that the Redskins pick up either one of these two guys, if not both. And if I'm saying that about a Gator, you know that I mean it. And now I'm going to take my scouting talents to South Beach as we check out the Miami Hurricanes. We're going to take a look at their feature back, Rashawn Powell, who's 5'11", 230 pounds, and still is very elusive. He has incredible ball carrier vision, and he always seems to find a lane wherever he goes. And he's really good at juking, but he's also got a nasty stiff arm as well that just pushes defenders right into the dirt. And hopefully his combine grades out well. If it does, he'll probably be higher than the late first round grade that he's already getting. Now, I'm not sure how much the Redskins are really invested in going after this guy. They still have two very young, very talented guys in Samaje Perine and Darius Geis. Not to mention Corey Grant could also come back as well. And you never want to sleep on AP. I don't know if he's going to come back or not. But if AP's there, he'll definitely be in the mix. So this might create a bigger logjam at running back. But if he has a good combine, it might not even matter because the Redskins won't be able to get him. And now we go to the house that Eli built. Only a joke. We all know it's the house that A.J. Brown made. But anyways, we're heading to Ole Miss to check out a wide receiver by the name of Sal Valdez. Yeah, all these receivers coming out of Ole Miss over the past few years. Of course, we had A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf coming out last year. And now we got Sal Valdez, who's 6 foot, 193, and he's a very good deep threat. He's really good at running intermediate to deep routes, and he's kind of, well, not even kind of, he's really similar to Paul Richardson in a lot of ways. And drafting Valdez could definitely give the Redskins two really good deep threats. But they would have to invest heavily in him because he is projected to be an early first-round pick. And now the last stop on the scouting trip is going to be to Syracuse, New York, where we check out cornerback Keon Wild. Definitely one of my favorite names in this draft class. Wild is 100% a zone specialist, which is kind of weird for a corner because you want to see your corners play more man. But his zone coverage is just absolutely tremendous. He knows where to be at all times, so he's perfect for a cover 3, cover 4 type defense. Now, his only shortcoming could be his size. He's only 5'9", but he definitely packs a punch at 208 pounds. And only being 21 years old, he still has a lot of time and a lot of room to grow into an even smarter and better corner than he already is. And he's already pretty good. And if he's on the board with one of the Redskins' late round picks, I would definitely take him, no questions asked. But that's going to do it for me. That's all from the East Coast scouting trip. This has been your boy, Kaz the Blackheart, a.k.a. Kaz Cray, a.k.a. Father Kaz. And I hope to see all you guys at the off-season live stream. And like I always say, guys, no matter what happens, make sure you guys keep that mofo rolling. And I'm out of here. Deuces.
Kaz definitely did an amazing job scouting out the eastern part of the U.S. Please let me know in the comments section below what your favorite eastern prospect is that Kaz was able to scout for us. Now we're going to go into the central part of the country, and my boy Royal and Poison, RNP for short, has us there. RNP, what do you got, man?
Well, thanks, FG, and hello, everyone. We have a lot of talented prospects to go over here, so let's get started. My trip started in Illinois with the Northern Illinois Huskies. Right tackle Douglas DeBose was a star lineman for them this season, and he stands at 6'6", 318 pounds. He is a very smart and very elite pass protector for the Huskies, as he allowed only one sack all season long. He seems like one of the best values to me, as I'm hearing he won't get picked until the start of the fifth round. Pure craziness. This guy is an absolute stud. Then I went over to the land of the Golden Gophers of Minnesota and checked out another lineman, center Brandon Riley, at 6'2" and 300 pounds. This guy is yet another pass blocking stud. No idea how he is only projected as a late 4th round pick with his skill set. Awesome pass blocking talent and great footwork. A must have for the Redskins if you ask me. Next, we head over to the only college my friend Husker Ninja ever wanted to go to, the Iowa Hawkeyes. They have two players to look at, as they had one of the best defensive lines in college football this season. Left end Steven Cordova is a tad undersized at 6'1", 254 pounds, but the guy has excellent finesse, swimming and spinning out of tackles, and he is a great wrap-up tackler. A guy with these fundamentals could be just what the doctor ordered here in the seat. Then there is defensive tackle Chris Hilbert. At 6'4", 316 pounds, Hilbert is one of the elite run stoppers in the Big Ten. Chris was one of the best at recognizing the play being run and being able to shed blockers and pursue the ball carrier. Both of these great D linemen are slated to be second-round picks, a great value in my opinion. That, my stop in Texas was a very long one. First, I went to Houston to Rice University to get a look at Tyrus Rushing, who could be a huge sleeper pick in this draft. Staying 6'3", weighing 286 pounds, and slated for a late 4th round pick, is actually a lot better than that grade with the eye test. One of the better power rushers I could find. I would certainly take a chance on a guy like him. After Houston, I went down to Austin, where the Texas Longhorns had not one, not two, but three prospects that made my top 10 list. On offense, it started with the quarterback for the Longhorns this season. Garrett Hoke, a clear early first-round pick and one of the better scramblers in the country. A huge arm and tremendous short and medium accuracy are his strong suits, though he seems like there isn't anything he can't do. Can't wait to see him at the Combine. Garrett wouldn't get far without the help of his own line, and that is anchored by center Brandon Gillespie. At 6'4", 314 pounds, Brandon is the ultimate power center. He can power block for the pass or run, but he will pancake you. This is a great guy to be under in your offense. No wonder Garrett Hoke succeeded his last 3 seasons. On defense, Longhorns had right outside linebacker Levi Hammond, who is a fantastic 3-4 pass rusher. He's 6'4", 241 pounds with elite tackle and hip power as well as strong pursuit. He is slated as a late first-round pick, and I'm hoping he is there for the Redskins. The last state on my trip was Oklahoma. I started with the Sooners and their defensive tackle, J.J. Wilkinson. At 6'6", 315 pounds, his frame says power. Being one of the older players in the draft dropped his grade to a mid-second-round pick. Depending on his combine, he could rise up to where he belongs in the first round with what I saw on tape. Pursuit, block shedding, and tackling are the name of the game for run-stopping defensive tackles, and he did all very well on film. After that visit, I was off to the Conference USA in Tulsa with our wide receiver Kamari Patrick. He could be one of the best steals in the class, as he is slated for a 6th round pick. He is a deep threat who doesn't do anything excellent but seems to do everything equally decent. That could be a dangerous thing if he is as versatile as he looks. His position and interest with Coach Jamal McCoy is certainly going to depend on that 40-yard dash at the Combine. Well, that's all for me, everyone. Thanks for having me on, FG. Looking forward to doing some more scouting next year, and I can't wait for this off-season stream and live NFL draft.
Thank you, RMP. Shout out to RMP, everybody, and please let me know what your favorite of his 10 prospects in the central part of the U.S. is in the comments section below. Well, that's 20 down and only 10 more to go. Only the West region left, and what does that mean? That means Mr. Octagonal is in the building. Here we go. Octbach with the Goldilocks. Here we go. Let's see what you got, bud.
And thanks for having me. I was tasked with checking out the very talented West states. There were a good 25 guys who could have been highlighted in the special from the region, but I had to narrow it down to 10. So without further ado, let's get into it. First stop on the trip is the School of the Legion of Nerds. Washington State has one of the gem defensive backs in this draft and cornerback Davon Irwin. Irwin is a smart man-cover corner who, if he does give up a catch, which is rare, he definitely doesn't give up rack yards with his great tackling for a defensive back. This guy is first-round type talent that isn't projected to come off the board until the middle of the second. Now we head over to the Josh Allen University, Wyoming. We are here to look at right end Cedric Roten. Cedric is an early third-round power rusher with very good power moves and good tackling and pursuit, as you would expect from a solid power rusher. He is the only player in this draft from Wyoming, so hopefully he is as good as advertised. In Idaho, we visit two universities. First in Moscow, at the University of Idaho, we find wide receiver Jamison Red. Red is a physical 6'3", 228-pound player. The guy has made some incredible catches and acrobatic ones in traffic. He could put on a show for Dwayne Haskins and be a great contrast and complement to Paul Richardson if he were to don the maroon and yellow. Staying in Idaho, but in the city of Boise, running back Dwayne Lehman of the Boise State Broncos is a premier power back talent in this class. At 6'2", 229 pounds, he is huge for a running back, and the runs he displayed this season flattening defenders on the way to the end zone shows that. He rarely fumbles and is very hard to bring down. He is downright scary, and I'm anxious to see how he grades out at the combine. Now we head down to Utah. First we will stop in on the Utes and check out cornerback Bobby Bennett. Bobby is small at 5'9", 187 pounds, but he definitely saves with his assignments. Press, man, zone, he does it all. I would expect him to show out well at the combine. He is the frame to run a great 40, cone, and shuttle, but we shall see. Sticking in Utah, we check out Brigham Young University and running back Stephen Woodard. Woodard is a receiving back who never fumbles and catches like a slot receiver. He could be a huge threat in the rushing and the passing attack if the Redskins choose to use a late first-rounder on him. I think he's one of the best players in the entire draft class, but we'll see how he grades out in Indy. 2 states left. Let's take care of the easy one. Time for Colorado and the Colorado State Rams. Right tackle Eli Cox stands at 6'6", 327 pounds, and could be one of the pass blockers in this entire draft. He is projected as a later 6th rounder, but I gotta tell ya, 2nd or 3rd rounder sounds more like where he deserves to be. This guy is an elite pass blocker, and hopefully the combine shows that his measurables are elite as well, because I would love to see the Redskins replace the awful Morgan Moses with a guy like this. Okay, last state, 2 schools, first to Los Angeles and UCLA. Center Alec Lane was really impressive this season for the Bruins. Now he's only projected in the mid-5th, but if the Redskins were able to get him there, boy, would it be a steal for sure. He's a great lead blocker, a great impact blocker, and a wonderful run blocker, and he's a big boy. I would love to see the Redskins go back to the Hog days and get a bunch of big boys on that offensive line. Okay, now to the land of Joshua Fernald, San Diego. The Padres fan was on site when I visited the Aztecs and saw their 2 elite prospects this year. First, the offensive side of the ball and quarterback Conrad Homan. Definitely has the size you would look for in a quarterback at 6'6", 226 pounds. He has the biggest arm of anyone in the class, along with excellent accuracy on mid-range passes and great deep accuracy to go along with it. This will be a fun selection for Washington as backup to Haskins and to give him some real competition instead of the old Keenum and the career bench warmer Colt McCoy. But it's a pipe dream for the Skins to add Homan to their roster as he's slated to be one of the first picks off the board. The final player, a second Aztec, is defensive tackle Terrence Carroll. At 6'4", 297 pounds, big body, yes, but he has the elite finesse moves on the interior defensive line. Shocking. Well, he happens to have fantastic play recognition and gets himself to the right spot consistently to make plays. He's a projected mid-first rounder, but has the talent to go in the early first round, if you ask me. I hope he falls to the Redskins in the late first, because that would be a lot of teams passing on an elite trench player. That's all from me. This has been Frankie Graham with your Western Scouting Report. Back to you, XFG, and thanks for having me. See you next year.
Well, that's going to do it for our scouting special today. Thank you to Craniac Gaming, Royal and Poison, and Octagonal Gaming. Their links will be in the description below. Please check out their channels, sub to them. They are awesome dudes, and you definitely want to check out all the great franchise content they have going on, as well as here. So don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe if you are new. It is franchise content all day, every day, here on Franchise Gaming. Please stay tuned for the time and date of the off-season live stream to be announced. The Season 1 off-season live stream is going to be coming at some point next week. We still have a Pro Bowl and Super Bowl video to go to cap off this season. They will also have special guests, 2 different special guests than this video, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys next time.